All right, guys, in this problem, it says answer the following with always, sometimes, or never true. Okay, and it gives us 3 questions here talking about these parallelograms. I drew it over there to help us out as we do it. So first off, it says the opposite angles in a parallelogram are always, sometimes, or never congruent. Okay, so if we think of opposite angles, right, we have 4 angles, and the opposite ones are the ones that are across from each other. Okay, so are those always congruent? Are they sometimes congruent? Are they never congruent? And if you remember back to our notes from the other day, these are actually always congruent. Okay, the opposite angles are always congruent in a parallelogram. Okay, so I'm going to put an A for always. Next one says a parallelogram is blank equilateral. Well, remember an equilateral triangle? All the sides were the same. Here, if this is equilateral for this quadrilateral, that means that all those sides could be the same. And could that happen? Could those sides all be the same? Yeah, they could. Do they have to be? No. So this would be sometimes. I'm going to put S. As a parallelogram is sometimes equilateral. Okay, then the last one says, if only one pair, that should be our first hint right there. If ever it asks you if only, it's kind of limiting you. We might be thinking this might not happen. So let's see here. If only one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, then the quadrilateral is blank a parallelogram. Okay, so it's talking, I'm going to erase these from my last one, but it says if only one pair of opposite sides are congruent, so if I mark it up saying this side and this side are congruent, but not those other sides, because it says if only one, is that a parallelogram? And no, we know in a parallelogram the opposite sides are always going to be congruent. So because of that, since it limits us here, this quadrilateral that has only one pair of opposite sides that are congruent, that would never be a parallelogram. Okay? All right, and there you have it. Always, sometimes, or never. So you just kind of think through the sentence and answer accordingly, always, sometimes, or never.